It's open live from the Maritime Hotel in Dusseldorf, and it's big Andrew Gilding versus even bigger John Henderson, as these two duke out in the first round, looking to book their place in round 2 to face the number 12 seed, the Raging Bull, Terry Jenkins. Dan Dawson in the commentary box for this one, alongside me, Rod Harrington.
Well, we've got two distinct characteristics of these two players. The rocker, John Henderson, and he gets the rocking motion going well, and he's really hard to beat, to be quite honest. Hits a lot of 140. It's never a big 180, but Andrew Gilding. I want to see the thumbs up. I want to see the thumbs up, so our cameramen be on your toes. We want to see a 180 from Andrew, and the little thumb just to the side.
Occasionally he gives it the double thumb.
That's
a red letter day when that happens.
But he was really playing well, wasn't he? I mean, just lately he's gone off the boil a little bit.
He has done, although he did have a little run to a semi-final in Coventry a month after the UK Open. The UK Open was when he really, I mean, he was tearing people apart. There was probably only one person that could have beaten him that weekend, and he ran into Michael van Gerwen in the semi-final. He averaged 108 and still lost. But it's not quite been that consistent level of performance. But when he does hit a bit of form, Andrew Gilding can mix it with the very, very best.
Yeah, you're right. He is a tough competitor, and so's John Henderson. I mean, he had a great run. I think it was in Venray.
It was actually, it was in Munich, the German darts master. Yeah, don't worry about that, Rod. I'll make it my business.
I've forgot my glasses, so all my paperwork here I can't see.
That's fine. Yeah, it was Munich where big John Henderson made it to the final. Yes. And he lost 6-5 to Michael van Gerwen, as everybody was doing, losing to MVG in the first 4 European Tour events of the year. That reign of terror finally came to an end in the last European Tour event.
Yes, it's going to be interesting with Michael, because he lost to Benito, and then he lost in Japan. So yes, the last 2 tournaments he's lost, you know, and that just puts you a little bit on the back foot, as we say. So it's going to be interesting to see what Michael van Gerwen's going to turn up this weekend. He wants to get right back on the horse, as they say, get the winning streak back.
Yeah, you've got to bear in mind that Michael van Gerwen, leading up to those 2 tournaments, was winning more than half of the tournaments he was entering in 2015, which is a quite phenomenal run.
But he was playing brilliant, but he's also having a little bit of luck. You know, when you talk about Dubai, I mean, he was behind in all 3 of those matches and possibly could have lost them. But didn't, just got over the line. But all of a sudden, your little bit of luck that you need, no matter how good you are, you've got to have that little bit of run of luck. And perhaps that's deserted him for a little while, so we'll see what he does this weekend.
Yeah, Michael van Gerwen does join the action along with the rest of the seeded players tomorrow, entering in the last 32 stage. He's going to play the winner of our last game on this evening. That's Jamie Lewis, the young Welshman, or Michael Rosenau, the German, as Gilding fills it up.
Did we miss the thumb, or didn't he do it?
I don't think he did it.
We're going to have
worrying time.
It is worrying. We're going to have a word with him about that.
I'm sure we'll see it before the end of this one. Now Andrew Gilding looking at double 14 here. Get a first leg on the board. Bit close to the double 11, that. Down for double 7. And he gets it. 1-0 Andrew Gilding, and that is perhaps significant, because the only time these two have met was in Munich, when big John Hendo made it all the way to the final, and he destroyed Andrew Gilding 6-0.
Not many people have done that.
Yeah, the Andrew Gilding 6-0 with 102 average. Then he was even better in seeing off Adrian Lewis in the next round. Hit 107, 108. Are we going to see something similar from the Highlander this weekend? Oh, this looks good.
140. That looks pretty good. In sync is the rocker. It isn't the throw that you would teach any youngsters, I have to say. The grip is just like everybody else's grip, nothing wrong with it at all. But Peter Manley's the only other one that used to have a bit of a forward motion. I remember an American called Scott LaRue that was a lot worse or better than Big John. I mean, really did.
Basically walking to the oche and throwing it. He's like the Happy Gilmore of darts.
Yes, he was. Yeah, Scott LaRue. Never forget it. I played him once and I thought, yeah, this is easy, and he battered me. Can't remember much else, but I remember him battering me.
I'm sure he remembers it well as well. Now, Gilding has left himself the 170. Henderson needs to find a treble, not that one.
Andrew, you require
So Gilding may well get 6
170.
darts from here. Could do it in 3. It's on. No longer.
I was going to say the 25 is a good shot here because he'll come back for double top. But he's going to come back for 2 at double top. And that previous visit from Big John has
28.
could have cost
Andrew, you
him
require
this leg
55.
on a break a throw.
So tops for Gilding. You see Gilding so far over on the left-hand side. In fact, Hendo's so far on the road on the right. They could both actually stand at the oche at the same time, and that's saying something considering they are both rather sizable.
We could actually commentate in the middle. Set a little table up there. And that's a bad dart from John. And another bad dart. He really hasn't done anything. I mean, if Andrew goes and misses this,
20.
Big John may only get a dart at the bullseye.
Game shown the second
Well, he
leg.
doesn't miss it, so it's
Andrew
2-0 to Andrew
Third
Gilding.
leg, Andrew to throw first. Game on.
Yes, and a break a throw for Andrew Gilding. And that looks perfect for... Oh, we've got to have the thumbs up here.
140.
Just the ton 40. Henderson got to find his range.
100.
Both of these guys coming through the qualifiers, as did everybody you're seeing in action today. Gilding saw off Gary Stone and Andy Bolton, only dropping 5 legs in total. Henderson, the mile-high Mark Hilton and Kirk Shepherd
42.
qualified for Risa on the same day, but he didn't get very far, ended up losing out to Matt Clark.
40.
Yeah, it's all a bit scrappy with Hendo at the minute. Certainly not hitting the heights we saw from him on the European Tour early this year in that brilliant run to the final. Did have a quick word with Hendo earlier on.
60.
Reminded him that he played Gilding on that brilliant run, his best run on the PDC by some distance. And he said, yeah, well, I could do with something similar. Nice little run this weekend going into the match play, seeing as I've got a pretty tricky draw. First round, Phil Taylor. Man unbeaten in 7 years at Blackpool.
Pretty tricky, you could call that. And playing exceptionally well, played really well in Japan, did Phil.
137.
And he's going to be tough to beat in Blackpool because of the legs. He'd have a better chance of beating Phil over sets, but legs, his leg-on-leg pressure, as we call it, is phenomenal.
100. Andrew, you require 122.
Now the 1-2-2 for Gilding. Should get a dart at the bullseye at least. Oh, he misses the big number.
72. John, you require
Now, will Henderson
121.
give himself a dart? Treble 17 he wants. He has given himself a dart at the bull. And he gets it!
Third leg. John Henderson. Fourth leg,
Well,
John.
is that the thing that's going to get
Game on.
John Henderson on a run, and then missing that big number? It could have been Andrew Gilding that hit the bullseye and walking away 3-0, and he's got the break and throw back as Hendo.
$22.
Look at this, Andrew Gilding.
140.
That familiar plod to the ball to retrieve his dart.
100.
Coming up, we've got Devin Peterson against Nathan Aspinall. Stephen Bunting, the Bullet, against Jihan Artot, the top German player in action this weekend.
83.
Dirk van Duivenbode against Leo Hendricks is an all-Dutch affair, and then Jamie Lewis against Michael Rosenau round things off in the evening session. That one's for the right to take on Michael van Gogh in the world #1.
Yes, I had a good little chat with Stephen Bunting earlier on. He didn't hear a word I said because he had his earplugs in.
Yes.
It was me yapping away to him and I didn't even realise, so old age coming on there. I asked him about jet lag. He said, "What jet lag?" I said, "I just fell asleep all the way." That's a better visit from Big John.
Gilding has effectively stolen the darts in this one as he looks to get that break of throw back, and he's going to put himself in a decent position, it appears. A very decent position. Don't want to go for another one of those.
137.
That will do for Andrew Gilding. He'll get 2 darts at tops when he returns.
And that's not really pressured the shot at all, so Gilding to get that leg back and to go 2 legs clear again. Hendo's not quite close enough. He needed the treble with the previous visit.
97. Andrew, you require photo.
Well, Gilding, 3 clear darts at tops for a 3-1 lead. And to get that break back, doing his best to block our camera angle there. Down for double 10.
30.
Well, well, well.
John, you require photo.
Well, John, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I think is the old saying. That's a pretty good guide for John. And like Gilding has pulled it low, 20. And you won't get better chances than that.
10.
Both players very scrappy on the doubles.
Double 2.
6 score.
Wow.
John,
21 darts each. And still no winner. And it goes on.
It could be one of those legs.
15. Andrew, you require 4.
Double 2 then for Gilding. To put this leg to bed. And, well, it's an ugly one, but it's worth exactly the same as a 9-darter.
Game on.
Winning ugly, we call it. It's exactly the same. He's winning brilliantly, I'm afraid. They all count, as you said. And it's the guys that can win ugly that win more tournaments, I'm afraid, because not everybody is going to batter people.
23.
Better to win with an 80 average than to lose with 100.
There are players I've heard that would contradict that, which is the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard.
100.
Another thing that makes me laugh is when you beat someone, they apologise for not playing well enough. That is the one that always made me laugh.
Thank you very much.
99.
Oh, John Henderson needs to step it up.
85.
Yeah, it's not quite. I mean, for obvious reason, the more moving parts you've got, the more chance you've got of going wrong. And John just hasn't got that rocking motion in sync. And being right-handed, you know, the wasted darts normally will go
60.
into the 5.
Andrew Gilding, despite making a couple of finals on the PDC Tour last year and 4 semi-finals this year, including that UK Open one. Yet to do it on the European Tour. Maybe this could be his weekend. He's not made it past the last 16 before now. Terry Jenkins awaits if he can get through this one, but Big Hendo has fired in a slightly better leg. He's down to a potential 2-dart finish on the Gilding throw.
Well, he's going to have to come down for those 90. Well, no, he's staying there.
100.
That was understandable because it was so inviting for another treble, which he needed.
Took a gamble, didn't pay off, but it was an educated risk.
36.
19, a bit trickier than the 120 he would have left if he'd hit a single 19. Oh, there's the 9. Now then.
This would hurt.
89.
He did want the bullseye.
Join the required folks.
Missed it by a little way in the end.
Game shown the
But Hendo made no mistake with that one.
Henderson.
3-2 and a topsy-turvy old game we've got here.
Game on.
All of a sudden, Hendo is throwing to level the match. Gilding does have the advantage of having thrown first, though.
46.
But you get the feeling, whoever can just raise their game by a notch or two, it's there for the taking. Neither of these guys playing anywhere near their best standard.
No, if someone can put a good couple of legs in, a couple of level 13, level 14, you feel they're going to run away with it. But at the moment, neither player, and we have to say, well, you've said it, Dan, they're not playing nowhere near the standard that we know they can play.
85.
Andrew Gilding settles into his little niche at the left-hand side of the hockey. I mean, he is one of the few players being right-handed that stands right over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it does give our cameramen problems at times.
It does, yes.
They did introduce the Gilding cam at the last European Tour event, which got a shot from above just in case Gilding was blocking the way. We don't have that luxury here. And you see, 215s, 216s, that's pretty good. That real scrappy leg, but this is better. There's the thumb. There's the thumb, Rod.
I knew we'd get it in the end. I have to say, I can remember a bit slow there because they nearly missed it.
Wow.
They're going to have to sharpen up a bit.
60. Andrew, you
Look at that,
require
serene,
81.
like a giant spherical swan. Gives it the 180, gives it the thumb. Just go and pour myself a little drink, then I'll have a plod over to the hockey. Not rushing for anyone. Well, that'll do.
Oh,
that won't.
Well, we've seen it. I mean, this time he's not going to be punished, but that's twice that he's missed big numbers and not had a dart or a double. And he did it before when he missed the 18. John took out the 1-2-1.
58.
Well, he's not punished there by Henderson, so Gilding is looking at double top here. He has not exactly been deadly on this so far. That's a little way off. There's a look of consternation on Andrew Gilding's face, but the double 10 comes to his rescue. 4-2 Gilding.
Leg, Andrew to throw first. Game on.
Well, I think the crowd are starting to sing Dave Chisnell, is it? Is it Dave Chisnell?
It could be. The thing is with the German crowd, they're a bit like the Japanese ones in that they'll think of a player and then suddenly burst into song. Just the 81. Opens the door if Henderson can put in a big one here. And he might do. And he is doing. And he has done. It's the start of a fight back from the Highlander. Not going to make it through to the next round where Terry Jenkins awaits.
40.
Well, he's got a chance to get the throw back. Shouldn't let it up from here. Will he go 25 or stay there? No, he stayed there. He's going to give himself 2 darts, and it's an exceptional leg. We kept saying that if someone could just put a real good, quick-fire couple of legs together, and if John Henderson could do that now, then he's going to be on the run. Andrew Gilding on the back foot. A bit scrappy Gilding, and
just an odd dart every visit.
He is, yeah, and he's missing big numbers going for checkouts, which is not really been like Andrew for a while. Oh, that's a perfect dart. This has got to go in.
21.
Surprising that it didn't, but Gilding is unlikely to make him pay. Back on 5-5. We shall see. Well, he could do. Yeah, again, not really threatening that treble 19.
87.
So, big Hendo.
Joining required 20.
Wants double 10. Right on the wire again. Does not miss with his last dart in hand. It's a 15-darter.
John Henderson. 8th leg, John to throw first. Game on.
Well, he scored very well, did Hendo there. Now he's got to follow it up. He's got to get this leg back. He's got to start taking the game to Andrew Gilding. And you know, he had a great last leg scoring-wise, and then goes off with that, which it just opens the door for Gilding to come in with a 140 and all of a sudden nick the throw, or even a 180.
There you see, 97 plays 94 in the first 9 averages. We both know these guys can produce better than that. The overall average is certainly a long way off what they'd expect of themselves.
140.
But it does underline the point, if somebody can just raise their game a little bit in these dying stages, it is right there for the taking. Is it going to be Gilding? It could be. It could be.
Well, Hendo cannot afford a visit without a treble. So it will be Gilding that gets the throw back again. Well, he's nicked the treble with the last dart. So Hendo should get 6 darts from 185. It's only a 140 or a 180 that's really going to punish him.
100.
It's not overly hurt. But now Henderson needs to find a treble. If he hits that treble, may go 25. Might no stay. He'll stay there for that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
because
fine.
that is so inviting.
Andrew, you require 121.
Well, a 1-2-1. It could be a game changer. It could happen. Oh, he's missed a big number again. How many times has he done
3
that?
times.
81.
Yes, 3 times at crucial times as well,
John, you
Dan.
require
But he's missed
45.
the big number and failed to have a dart at a double. And Hendo does it.
John Henderson.
Well, John Henderson, for the first time in the match, wins 2 consecutive legs.
And Gilding's one of those players that you don't expect to miss big numbers. You know, he's very methodical in his throw. He isn't a real fast thrower. He makes sure that the dart's in the right grip in his hand.
He doesn't speed up or slow down or anything. It's very, very sort of rhythmical. And you can see the game has those winning legs are actually decent. It's just that a lot of the time the opponent's not really applying a great deal of pressure. That we've had that nightmare leg in the 4th where they were both struggling to hit anything, and that's why the overall averages are down.
And also, you know, like the last 2 legs, the last 3 legs, you probably find the opponents, the player who's lost the leg, is wanting too much.
Yeah.
They're just not doing it together consistently.
Strange old game we've got here, but the upshot is that it's 4 apiece. Gilding, he has got his nose in front. He does have the throw in 2 of the 3 remaining legs, including this one, of course. Check out percentages. I mean, hitting 1 in 4 their darts at double.
97.
It's going to give your opponent opportunities. Scruffy.
Yes, he had 2 great legs, did Big John, and now he's just kind of made it very easy for Gilding to go 1 leg away from a second round match. And he's just picking off the odd treble with a visit.
97.
Well, Hendo, as we're now hitting a lot of 140s, needs to find one of those right now.
41. Andrew, you require
Yeah, not happy with himself.
78.
The world number 37. No, 25 ball. Wasn't to be. Doesn't need to go that route with Hendo on 209.
Well, that is the 4th time he's done that, Dan. Like I said, that's very unlike Andrew Gilding. A bit of a nervy game from both players.
95. Andrew, you require 40.
Well, he's got 3 clear darts to go within 1 leg of the next round. And Goldfinger does not miss with that one. It's another leg. It's done in 15, 16 darts.
From first, game on.
Make or break for the big Scotsman, John Henderson.
100.
Surely he's going to switch.
137.
Yeah, and a very good switch as well. And the way them darts were laying, if he'd have followed that up, he would have deflected it into the 1s.
57.
Advantage, Gilding.
And he would love to end this right now. He doesn't want to go to a deciding leg. The way this game has gone, I mean, it'd be anybody's.
46.
Missed opportunity again for Andrew Gilding. Well, what promised to be one of the highlights of the first round in terms of quality hasn't lived up to, you know, perhaps some of the more unlikely games that we've seen today. I mean, the brilliant performances we've seen from the likes of Roby John Rodriguez and Dimitri Vandenberg. So far today, these two played nowhere near the capabilities. We could have a very dramatic conclusion to this one. Gets him to a finish.
Well, we see Joey Cullen take the 144 out of the previous match. And Gilding could really put some pressure on, and he's going to. Comes down for the 17s. Oh, it's a perfect setup for Andrew Gilding. This is make or break for John Henderson. Needs to find a couple of treble 20s, and he's not going to do it. So Gilding comes back.
100.
What must be about the 7th breaker throw on the trot, I think.
We had a couple of holds, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it has been a ridiculous game, and it would be a similar ending if Andrew Gilding was an L66.
12 score.
3 match darts, and all of a sudden, John Henderson has the chance to take us to a decider. Topsy wants. And Topsy gets. We're going all the way. Andrew Gilding now. The question is, can he pick himself up from that, dust himself off, and make advantage of throwing first in this deciding leg? He has missed 3 match darts. The setup shot was absolutely incredible. Left him double 12, but he couldn't kill it off. But look at the way he started this.
Well, we said there's going to be plenty of legs in this match, so if you've backed over on legs, you are sitting there laughing.
Just the 82 from Henderson. Gilding. He gave himself the opportunity in the last leg. He couldn't get the job done.
Well, a chance here for Henderson to get back in the match and perhaps steal a bit of the throw. I think that said it all from Andrew, the way he chucked his towel down on the table.
Oh, mate, no mistake, nobody's chucking in the towel just yet. Both of these guys have every chance of closing out the victory. One of them's going to do it.
60.
One of them has to.
Well, it's in John Henderson's hands now. Another one of those 140s would do him very nicely.
99.
A ton is good. A ton 40 would be very, very good. That's a decent miss.
100.
Just.
Oh, another one of those would be very nice for Big John. Oh, what a time for him to find another one of those 140s. And now it's make or break for Andrew Gilding.
Stand and deliver, Andrew Gilding. 157. It might have had to go. He's survived 3 match darts, John Henderson. Now he's got 3 of his own in the deciding leg. Gilding sat on double 10 for the match. Is he going to get a go at it? I thought he was going to cross himself there, John Henderson.
Yes, I thought he was going to give it that. You're up there on your own, John. No one can help you.
No divine power is coming to your aid, Hendo. This is all on you, big man. Double top, 3 darts at it for 6-5. Nowhere near.
No score.
Unbelievable. Now it's Henderson that has passed up 3 clear darts to win the match. Gilding had 3 in the previous leg. Now he's going to get 3 at double 10 to finally wrap this match up.
How many more chances are these guys going to need?
10 score.
3 match darts in the 10th leg for Andrew Gilding. 3 missed in this leg. Hendo's missed 3 on his own. He's coming back at double top. It is his favourite.
Well, he did the right thing. If you're going to miss, you miss above. And then go and hit it second dart after that guide. Oh.
Double 10. Stuck it in the corner. Hendo looks to the side. John Henderson has somehow come through that. 6 match darts missed by Andrew Gilding. Hendo missed 5 before he finally got over the line. But it's the big man, the finalist from Munich, who somehow scraped into the next round. He will face Terry Jenkins. I don't know who gave him the help to finally hit that winning double. Gilding displaying all the killer instinct of a Buddhist monk. He is dumped out in round 1, and Hendo, through a little bit of luck and a lot of perspiration, finds himself in the next round. Terry Jenkins awaits. The action continues here in Dusseldorf. We've got Devon Peterson against Nathan Aspinall. But let's go and figure out who Hendo was asking for help in those closing moments.
Sehr emotionaler Moment. Der Mann, der wie gesagt in München schon so weit marschierte und das Finale erreichte.